talk about our venture called Cintell. Stands for Customer Intelligence. We're building a SaaS platform at an enterprise scale to operationalize customer intelligence. At a very high level, our mission is to create a customer-centric world. The main problem we're trying to solve is that, I think this has been kind of talked in almost all the pitches today. Understanding buyers is one of the most important things for businesses, and it's been pretty shallow as of today. Businesses understand that customers as a title working in an industry in a certain size of organization. The reason is a lot of the customer research activities that happen today are very manual, static, and fragmented. I know most of you must be getting calls around, answer a few questions, fill the survey. You'll be surprised to see how fragmented all those efforts are, and they never get accumulated to a common understanding of the customer. That's why we've built Cintell as a platform, as a single platform that can combine different forms of customer research that comes into the company and provide that unique, what is called as a smart persona. Persona is a model of your target customer, and it's widely used in marketing for about 20-25 years now. We are creating the next generation of it, which is called as the smart persona. The key technology piece behind this platform is called as Cintelligence. We have a patent on it for the persona lifecycle management. The way we build these smart personas is uniquely blending three types of information. The first is primary research. When you talk to your customers, when you do surveys, when you get internal feedback from the company, that's very high value, small amount of information. And then you go to third-party big data insights that are available at various different types, like professional information, what type of content is being consumed, what is this persona saying on social, what type of personality does a group like this have, and things like that. And then ultimately, as a business, there's a lot of data that's being collected about your customers, all of that not being analyzed enough. If you combine all these three, right, what happens is you get a strong piece of data that can be used for establishing a hypothesis about your target customer, and then on an ongoing basis, you can actually continue to refine it by looking at, okay, I've established a hypothesis, I've run an experiment, I collect all the data in my business system, and I use that again back to refine. So this is the kind of like the key technology behind this platform. What this does is, if you've understood your customer as an IT security manager at a mid-sized company before, with Cintell, you'll know a lot more about that customer. You'll know that they prefer email over phone. You'll know that they read New York Times Business Week. You know that they're a logical decision maker. You know what is it that keeps them up at night. You know what level of influence they have on the purchasing process, so on and so forth. So I'll switch quickly to the demo of the product. This is our platform. I apologize for the lack of enough high definition on this image, but this is the platform. This is what a user sees when they first log into the platform. They can create their own personas, or they can see some sample personas. But let's go to an account that already has these personas defined. So if you look at these, right, they're all different people involved in buying my software. Let us say, they're an accounting person, a key decision maker, somebody who's a developer, essentially, let us say, end user, or somebody in the HR who might be involved. So these personas can be, as deep as about 80 different attributes. Starts from personal information, professional insights, their priorities and drivers. What do they care about in the buying process and things like that. If you go back to the overview, what you'll also see is the ability to create this persona and attach some resources to it, like a demo that's relevant to Linda or a data sheet that's relevant to Linda. Again, going back to the learning and other platforms that you've seen, making it relevant for your sales reps, your marketing people to understand the customer better. There's also a mechanism to collect the internal feedback. There's a lot of external insights that you can collect. All of this is hugely valuable for somebody who's creating and managing this persona, right? But then if you go back to how you propagate this knowledge across your organization, you can very easily create a permalink. Like think of it like a Google a link to a Google Doc, and you can publish it across the organization so that everybody has access to it. And this is just the beginning, right? And when you go to so let's say once you've defined your personas, you can bring your entire marketing database, your entire customer data from like let's say last 10 years, and you can assess them saying, my customers break out into these 3 categories. 13% or 14% are Sarah, the personal advisor, 41% are Linda, and then you can actually create strategies to engage them in a better way. There's a little bit more to show, but I'll stop here for questions.
So do you have the mechanism to be able to link in these personas into something like email, say, for example, like Reportive or some of these other tools that tie in their LinkedIn profiles and all these other things directly into your email when you get an email from this person?
Yes. The system is designed to accumulate these insights and make them available in various business systems. So that the whole idea is if there are 1,000 people in the business, everybody needs to have access to understanding the customer. So our initial phase is integrating into what are called as marketing automation tools, like Salesforce.com, Marketo, Eloqua, and we want to expand to doing MailChimp, Constant Contact, Rapid overnight tools like that.
Companies might have dozens or hundreds of customer surveys done over the past years. Can you take advantage of that?
Yes, we're building a module where right now the initial module is to create new surveys and execute them, but we are expanding that to accumulate data that's been collected through past surveys and do some natural language processing to identify commonalities and responses.
Do you need to start creating personas beforehand, or it can come up with personas if you don't have anything? Because I think that is the biggest value it can add if you could come up with a persona.
Yes, there is I'll take more offline. There's a little bit of a sentiment on, they say personas are like snowflakes and they have to be, unique for every company and they have to be created with a lot of primary research. Data-driven personas are kind of frowned upon a little bit because they lack human element. But we are building a module where same as this. If you give us your entire database, we'll analyze and we'll spit out the 6 or 7 personas that may be hidden in that database. We're doing that, but we're staying away from going in with that as the primary approach. We still want to say, talk to a few people before you define your personas. Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of marketing automation platforms like Marketo and HubSpot, I see how you're integrating with those and helping to play that out. In terms of third-party vendors, are you tying in with things like LinkedIn and Data.com to push out the larger, persona numbers that are more granular on a higher level?
Yes. So one of the reasons this platform is kind of very unique is that it has quite a few integration opportunities. The third-party data sources for us can come in different forms, like social, and we're mining a lot of resume data that's out there, job postings data that's out there to understand what does a security manager do on a day-to-day basis at work, what type of projects do they work in. So we're working with LinkedIn to see if we can use some of their data. I worked in a company called Net Prospects in the past, which is a Data.com competitor. We're planning to integrate all of that. I think this has huge, tremendous amount of opportunities to bring all of that together.
So I see a tremendous amount of value in creating extraordinarily intelligent personas for your marketing team.
Yes.
So I can clearly see the integration between, in essence, what is an intelligent reporting tool based on your database that you have.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see value unless you have plans to expand upon the functionality of actually defining these personas and then leveraging the functionalities within inside of a marketing automation platform that you have created within your application as opposed to just reporting off of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I could show it, but I can't log in here. But for example, Marketo, if you have a million contacts in Marketo, every contact or most of the contacts can be tagged with these personas, and you can use those tags to create what are called as smart lists, and you can do campaigns, and you can allow Marketo to pick the right content for that content because for that contact because it's associated with that persona.
So through a workaround, you're circumventing the persona module within inside of the marketing automation platform, defining your own lists, and then working off of it as if you created them.
Right, and you know, rather than circumventing, I would say we are adding value there because most of these platforms do not have a persona framework. HubSpot is probably one that has a little bit, but Marketo, Eloqua, Salesforce, none of them have a persona framework built into their platform. And that's one of the reasons why we took up this opportunity.
Last question.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Cintell.